started this thing in 2018 with the Beatles. And it's always a fun game to play to try to get them in order, how we went. Because I know we went the Beatles, the Stones, and then it was either Sam Phillips, the Swampers, Tom Petty, the Eagles, the 80s, now the 70s. Yeah, we're going on 10 years with this and making music and playing big shows and getting amped up for it and geared up for it and rehearsing with everybody and just the fellowship leading up to it.
The rehearsals are, there's no labor involved at it. It's food, fun, and fellowship.
I'm like you always did, either the
yeah, I tried to mimic that. I never did do it right, you know.
or the Stevie.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember the first time I ever seen that done was I was playing at Callahan's one night and I walked down the sidewalk. You was playing at Ricky Tony's up on the balcony. And that's the first time there's something about seeing somebody do that in person.
Oh, yeah.
And watching you do that rhythm guitar and sing, I'm like, that's how that's done. That blew my mind.
Scott, Todd, and I go way back, probably, I guess, the mid-90s. We just compliment each other. He's everything that I'm not. I always tell him I'm the cake, he's the icing.
And Mitch is like a guitar soulmate of mine. He is what I've always wanted to be and cannot be. He's the fantasy side of my guitar playing. And it's so easy to work with him. He does a lot of the heavy lifting. And a lot of times we don't even have to talk about who's doing what. It just magically happens.
I both go like that, and maybe what Donny was doing, that might awesome.
While Russell certainly, he is sort of the head of this whole thing, and it all comes from his mind and his leadership. There is work that we all put into it, but it's fun. It's a labor of love, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it every year.
And I have the utmost respect for those of you who have to learn chords for these songs. It's enough of a tumble just to try to catch the right feel of the song on drums.
It's been a blessing for me. I've been playing bars for so many years, winging it. My guys just kind of say, okay, we're going to do these songs this weekend, no rehearsal, and just go in. And sometimes it's a great thing, and sometimes it's not a great thing. And these guys, they work continuously until they have the song, the little nuances, everything down pat, just like the record. I tell the guys all the time that feel like this is the greatest thing that I've ever done musically, and I mean it.
What these shows are about and the way it's able to contribute to the community, it's just home runs on every area is just awesome and great. So, and I'm honored to be a part of that.
When I first moved up here in the early 90s, when you'd go see Travis Womack play, he always had a talk box. Travis may have had one of the first few out there, I think, back in the day. Because, I mean, he started out when he was just a little kid with that instrumental scratchy. So he's been around, and say all that to say this, when I'll ask Travis, I'll get the talk box. So I went to Travis, and of course, Travis has taught us all, get to the gig an hour early. If you ever get to where you can double everything up, from your guitars to your amps to your chords to your straps to your effects pedals, always have a backup. So yeah, he's like, oh, of course you can borrow one of mine. So he has at least two. And of course, the one, he gave me the one fresh out of the box. That was the backup. He had never used it. He loaned it to me, and then after the show, I was going to give it back to him. And he said, well, why don't you just keep that? So, we love Travis.
Free just a little too far. You're telling out things, but your girlfriend lying. You can't catch me, cause the rabbit done died. Yes, I do. Shaking your ass. I'll take you backstage, you can drink in my glass. Talk about something you can sure understand. Cause I'm off on the road and I'm eating from your hand.
I started playing professionally when I was 19 years old in Birmingham, Alabama, and Jimmy Buffett was a big part of that. You know, Jimmy Buffett, James Taylor, if you were a solo acoustic act, that's what people wanted to hear. You know, I kind of begrudgingly played those songs at the time, but anytime they come on the radio, I turn them up in the car. Jimmy Buffett has a tie to Muscle Shoals through Mac McAnally. You know, with Kelvin Holly being the godfather, I told him there's not a cooler person in town to sing that song.
Mother, Mother Ocean, I have heard you call. I wanted to sail upon your waters since I was 3 feet tall, and you've seen it all. You've seen it all. I watched the men who rowed you switch from sail to steam, and in your belly you hold the treasures few have ever seen, and most of them dream. Most of them dream. Yes, I am a pirate, 200 years too late. The cannons don't thunder There's nothing to plunder. I'm an over 40 victim of fate, arriving too late, arriving too late. I've done a bit of smuggling, I've run my share of grass, I've made enough money to buy Miami, but I pissed it away so fast, never meant to last, or never meant to last. And I have been drunk now for over 2 weeks. I passed out and I ran in and I sprang a few leaks. But I got to stop wishing, I got to go fishing down the rock bottom again. Just a few friends, just a few friends. Scotty Todd. For younger women, lived with several a while. Though I ran away, they come back one day. I still could manage to smile. It just takes a while. It just takes a while. Mother, mother ocean, I found my occupation hazard being. My occupation's just not around. I feel like I've drowned. I feel like I've drowned. I feel like I've drowned. Gonna head uptown.
So the first 3 years we met the Beatles, the Stones, and Sam Phillips. Then we had a pandemic. We came back in 2021 and we met Tom Petty.
Running down the drain, you never would come to me. Working on a mystery, I'm going wherever it leads. Running down the drain.
That was the first year that we went to the Shoals Theater. We were coming out of COVID. It was one of the first big shows that happened in town after COVID. I'm a huge Tom Petty fan. I saw Tom when he came here and played in Florence when I was 15 years old. That's really the only Muscle Shoals contact that show had. Everybody's hair was on fire, and it was a great show. Then the following year after that, we did Muscle Shoals Meets the Swampers. The show was continuing to grow. Each year, we were able to hire more musicians. After the Swampers, we did Muscle Shoals meets the Eagles. Then we did Muscle Shoals meets the 80s. And at that point, we started building playgrounds. My youngest son, Armstrong, is nonverbal autistic. And after we did Muscle Shoals meets the Eagles, Billy Ray Castile, who's a childhood friend of mine, had come on board to be a sponsor for the Eagles show. And when I met with him afterwards to talk to him if he would have interest in being a sponsor moving forward, he told me he would be a sponsor for the rest of our lives, but that I needed to be doing it about autism, that he was surprised. He thought I was already doing it to raise money for autism. And I told Billy Ray, I was like, no, man, I never wanted this to be about me. And he said, it's not about you, man. It's about a bunch of people. And he was right. So I went home and talked to my wife, Allison, about it, and talked to the band and all the worms, and we all agreed that was a direction that we thought we should go. So with the infighting that goes on between one side of the river and the other, I didn't want to do something on one side of the river that I didn't do on the other. Sheffield, Tuscumbia, and Muscle Shoals is located in Colbert County, and Florence is located in Lauderdale County. Two different school systems, two different, fire stations, two different governments. And so I went to the Muscle Shoals school system and asked them what they needed the most in their special needs department. And they told me that they needed a special needs playground at the middle school. And then I went and I met with Becky O'Dell in the Florence school system and asked them in their special needs department what did they need the most, and they said that they needed a special needs playground at the high school. And so I asked both of them to get me renderings and a quote. And of course, the quotes came in a little over $58,000 each, which was way more money than we had ever raised. And so I didn't know how we were going to be able to raise that money. So I divided seating sections into 10 seat sections and did it different, like the better the seats, the more expensive the sponsorship was. And we sold sponsorships that way. And we raised over $217,000, all from local businesses. It really was amazing. So we were able to build the playground at the Muscle Shoals Middle School, the playground at the Florence High School. And part of it was that raising money for the Healing Place was something that we had done for 6 years. So, they had written that into their budget. Room in the Inn had disbanded after the Swampers show, and so at that point it became a fundraiser for the Healing Place. And I had to have a very difficult conversation with Earl McGuire and my friends at the Healing Place. And obviously they were disappointed that we weren't going to be raising money for their organization, but they were so nice to me. And Earl, who is really my right-hand man, he helps me sell tickets. He does all kinds of things to help with this project. Continued to do that, even knowing that he wasn't going to get anything out of it. Mitch Mann came up with Car Wash. It was during COVID. Scott Campbell started sending me videos. He lives in Rivermont over in Sheffield. And people in his neighborhood got together as a band and started performing. And he would send me audio that he recorded on his phone of their rehearsals, and there was this young lady singing. I was like, who is that, man? And it was Natasha. She is phenomenal. And so Scott introduced me to Natasha. So I was trying to figure out what Natasha should sing, and Mitch said, how about Car Wash?
I was raised on country music, rebelled with metal, Black Sabbath and Zeppelin, and then I discovered funk, and gosh, I guess that's probably one of my favorite genres, actually. the first bass player I saw slap a bass, I think was Larry Graham. I said, man, I got to do that. No, that's not a lot of slapping in that song, but it is your typical funk, Motown funk groove, and I've always been attracted to dominant bass parts, and that song definitely has a dominant bass part.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see your hands. Let's go. Much better.
We were jamming.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I am very proud of my daddy's. Knows his kind of me.
That's it.
Mine ain't exactly the same. Oh, wait, look at this guy. Hey, brother, how you doing, man? All right, you son. Man, I am so blessed to see you.
Good to see you, man.
You know, to quote Patterson Hood, you know, he talks about in one of his songs about how he rebelled against songs played in his high school parking lot. And that was kind of my take on Hank Williams Jr. Like, it's not something that I turned my nose up to it. And of course, anytime it came on the radio in my car, I cranked it up, man.
No autographs.
He is altering the lyrics for Wayne Chaney over there. I was hoping maybe he was just making the letters bigger so he could read them better, but no, he's changing the words straight up.
Does he need to be videoing what you're doing?
I don't care.
We want to include everybody on this show. We want it to be an inclusive event, not an exclusive event. And so I always had Wayne Chaney on my list as far as someone I'd like to have involved. When we came across Family Tradition, we thought Wayne was a perfect fit.
Okay, we got a living legend here, Bob Wray.
Yeah. It was Hank Jr., Roger Clayton, Roger Clark, Jerry Wallace,
No.
Mac McAnally, and myself.
Oh, wow.
The wishbone chorus.
That's the background vocals on that song.
Another thing too is, like, we're so spoiled here. Things are recorded that we don't even know about. It was years before I knew that Family Tradition was actually recorded here. And we were lucky enough to get Bob Wray, who played on the track and sang background vocals, to be a part of this show.
You gotta hip it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
Y'all having a good time? What about this band? You know, these guys are been all over the world, and ain't nobody like this. Some of the best on the planet. I remember when he was a little bitty fella playing in Jasper. They threw me out one night. I got threw into some places too, but I got thrown out. Whoop it there, Dillon. Country music singer, been a real close family. Lately, some of my kinfolk have disowned a few others than me. Help me. I guess it's because kind of changed my direction. Lord, I guess, and I went and blew that old family tradition. Y'all ready? Wanna know now, hey, why do you drink? Why do you roll? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? Over and over, everybody make my prediction. If I get stoned and sing all night long, it's a family tradition. That's a fact. I am very proud of my daddy's name, although his kind of music and mine ain't exactly the same. Well, now stop and think it over. Put yourself in my position. If I get stoned and sing all night long, it's a family tradition. So don't you ask me, Hank, why do you drink? Well, why do you smoke? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? I'm down in some old honky-tonk, and old slick tried to give me friction. I said, leave me alone, I'm singing all night long. It's a family tradition. What's that thing for? Yeah. Brother Donny Carpenter. Scott Todd. 1973. When I died, they asked me, said, son, how'd you get in this condition? I said, hey, some bones, and there's a carrying on an old family tradition. Why don't you ask me, said Hank, why do you drink? Come on. Why do you roll smoke? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? Stop and think it over. Put yourself in my unique position. I get stoned to sing all night long. It's a family tradition. Thank y'all. Enjoyed it. How about this band? One more time. Make some noise. Show them some love.
My mom was a counselor at Northwest Alabama Cancer Center, and so she saw the need for a children's grief center working with adults who were passing away of cancer. And she watched a video of the Dougie Center, which is the National Center for Grieving Children. And she was like, we're going to have a place like that here for children and families in Northwest Alabama. And so she and Sharon Scoggin, who was a nurse at the Cancer Center, came together and started just dreaming about what that would look like. And Sharon's brother ended up building a house for us in Spring Valley. And so the first healing place was in memory of his dad, and started serving children in 2001. So we're coming up on 25 years of helping grieving children and families in the Shoals. We started age 3 to 19, and then we also have a young adult group. But for that 3 to 19-year-old age range, we do groups where the parents and caregivers are involved as well. And so it's really helpful, because one of the biggest indicators of how well a child will adjust after the death of a loved one is how well the parent is adjusting. So we can work with the parents also, and so that's a big benefit to our program. We go into Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale County schools and serve about 500 kids once a month in the school systems. And that's one of my favorite programs, because when we started the Healing Place, it was like, we're here, but the kids are in school. And so when working with the schools, we're able to collaborate with counselors and teachers and let the school system know that this kid has had a significant loss, and encourage other sources of support for those kids. And they also meet other kids at their school who've had a death, because they may feel like the only one going through what they're going through, but that lets them know they're not alone. So many kids after the death of a loved one are angry that their special person is not with them anymore, and so sometimes they may get into trouble, they may get into fights at school, they may, stop getting along with people that they once got along with, but we teach them that every emotion's okay, including anger. It's what you do with it that matters. And so we have a volcano room, it's a padded room, they can go in there and rip things up, they can throw things. The rule is one at a time. The kids love to come because they learn that anger is okay, it's what you do with it that matters, so they can go in there and throw things and tear things up, and then they get their anger out and they hopefully feel better and are able to go on and have a productive day. The Muscle Shoals Meets concert series has been phenomenal in helping us serve children, because my least favorite part of what I do is raising funds, and so having Russell do this and the musicians and the sponsors who support it, we are so appreciative of it, because it allows us to go into the schools when there's a death. We've been called several times this year in crisis situations, student suicides, teacher deaths, and we respond, and we're able to do that through funding with Muscle Shoals Meets. And so meeting those community needs is just priceless.
As a high school kid trying to, smoke cigarettes and be cool, punk rock was another vehicle for me, and I loved it. I love punk, and I love The Clash, the only band that matters. Jamie Barrier is the perfect vehicle to put that song across.
Hey y'all, I hope I didn't.
No,
I don't count.
Dude,
so,
you went right with the chart.
All right, cool, good.
I need.
Sometimes on the 4s and the 8s, I'll jump a gun.
A little bit. We'll follow you anyway.
London Calling, I remember the first time I heard it was Todd Bean was like a radio DJ, and I was driving down Wood Avenue and I heard it in my pickup. floored me, man.
Jimmy Nut on the bass.
Baby, I'm trying to love again, but I know first cut is the deep end. Baby, I know the first cut is the deep end.
First Cut is another song that was cut here in Muscle Shoals. Rod Stewart did it. I didn't realize for years that Cat Stevens actually wrote that song. I was familiar that Rod Stewart had cut it. There's a great story that he thought David Hood and those guys were like the janitors of the studio and not the real musicians.
First Cut is the Deepest is a song that I've sang a bunch as a solo, just like acoustic gigging around town, and I do that on the side. Obviously, I've done that for years. I did that song a lot back in the day, and then Sheryl Crow cut it. But so I was really familiar with that one. But it's always really, really cool when you do acoustic all the time to get up with the band and do a song, and then you got all the parts there. What can I say? It was bad. It was really cool.
It's my first gig, y'all. I got it. If I keep trying, right? and he's taking just all that I had. But if you wanna try to love again, baby, I'm trying to love again, but I know the first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. And it comes to being lucky, he's cursed. When it comes to loving me, he's worse. I still want you by my side, just to help me dry the tears that I cry. And I'm sure gonna give you a try. 'Cause if you wanna try to love again, try. Baby, I'll try to love again, but I know, oh, the first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. And it comes to being lucky, he's cursed. When it comes to loving me, he's worse. Oh, big now. And I still want you by my side, just to help me dry the tears I cry. And I'm sure gonna give you a try. And if you wanna try to love again, try. Baby, I'll try to love again, but I know, oh, the first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. When it comes to being lucky, he's cursed. When it comes to loving me, he's worse. Oh, and the first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. And I try to love again. Thank y'all.
Angela Hacker.
There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. Well, I said, hey, what is this now, baby? Maybe she's in need of a kiss. Well, I said, hey, what's your game, baby? Are you trying to put me to shame? Well, she said, no, no. Let's move before they raise their pocket rent. All right now, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now. Yeah. Let me tell you about it.